Today, I'm batch recording an entire series of 7 videos to roll out over the next few weeks, and this one is all about how I create the thumbnails for all of them at once. But stick around, because I'm also showing you how to tie this entire photoshoot and thumbnail workflow into my content engine using Vizard, so everything gets trimmed, scheduled, and posted without me hovering over every single step. Tell me, how many times have you finished a major edit, hit that export button, and then realized with a sinking feeling that you completely forgot to take a thumbnail photo? We've all been there, frantically scrubbing through the final render trying to hunt down some half-decent frame where you aren't blinking or making a strange face. That process of finding the perfect usable frame is incredibly annoying, wildly inefficient, and totally avoidable if you just dedicate a small amount of time to planning ahead. That's exactly why I decided to stop the madness and tackle this entire problem by batching all 7 thumbnails in one single dedicated session. Batching is genuinely the single best move for content scaling because it forces you to be intentional, it guarantees consistent branding across a series, and it completely saves you from scrambling like a maniac at upload time. If you are serious about scaling your content production without adding more chaos to your life, you should absolutely try adopting this method immediately. The very first crucial step in this entire batch process is to create one beautifully reusable thumbnail template that you can duplicate later. I personally lean on Canva for this because it is lightning fast and mostly free, but if you crave more granular control over every pixel, feel free to use Photoshop or Affinity instead. I'll be fully transparent. Photoshop is incredibly powerful, but it comes with a subscription cost and a much steeper learning curve, which isn't always worth it when you're prioritizing speed. Canva grants you all the speed and template flexibility you need to move fast without selling your creative soul, which is why it remains my daily driver for mocking up these essential thumbnails. For this specific batch of 7 videos, since I knew they were all focused on DaVinci Resolve tips, I placed the software logo prominently at the top for context. Next, I planned out the headline text for each individual thumbnail, keeping a simple, repeatable structure: logo, bold headline, and a supporting color block. Regarding the typeface choice, my usual go-to for body text is Oswald, but it's a bit too condensed for the eye-catching nature of a thumbnail headline. For these crucial visual hooks, I opted for Bebas Neue because it is clean, incredibly bold, and crucially, it remains highly readable even when viewed at very small sizes on a mobile phone screen. A key design decision I always make is placing a solid box behind the text, especially when using a busy background photo because white letters can otherwise simply vanish. That background shape immediately provides the necessary contrast and effectively protects the legibility of your primary message from getting lost in the visual noise. A pro tip here is to never hug your text right up against the edges of that box. Always ensure you add generous padding so the letters have room to breathe. These tiny, often overlooked details are what separate a design that looks truly polished from one that appears rushed or downright sloppy. Then, as a final flourish, I apply a very subtle drop shadow effect just on that background box, so it appears to gently lift off the main photograph. Once that master template with all the styles locked in is complete, I simply duplicate it 6 more times and swap out only the specific headline text for each video. Now comes the fun part where we transition from design mockups to the actual photo shoot session to get our on-camera faces. I exclusively use my smartphone for these shots because it's significantly faster, and for thumbnail purposes, the quality is absolutely more than sufficient. Furthermore, editing quick optimized snaps is much less cumbersome and more intuitive on a mobile device than wrestling with desktop software. My secret weapon for color correction is Snapseed because it is completely free, works seamlessly across both iOS and Android, and has that miraculous last edit feature. This feature lets you edit one photo perfectly, and then apply those exact same global tweaks to the next shot with a single tap, which is a monumental time saver when shooting over 50 photos. I only made quick essential adjustments like exposure, warmth, and structure. And once I found a rhythm, editing each individual thumbnail image literally took me just 8 to 12 seconds. I ended up taking a truly massive quantity of photos, we're talking 60 or more, because you need abundant options to choose from. There is genuinely nothing worse than being stuck with 2 awkward-looking pictures because you didn't capture enough variety in your shoot. More photos simply means more statistical chances to land that exact energetic eyebrow raise or that perfectly genuine, engaging smile. After polishing them in Snapseed, I moved all the optimized images into OneDrive and then pulled them onto my desktop computer for the next stage. From the desktop, I opened them within Canva, carefully picked the single best face for each corresponding headline, and then meticulously aligned the text box and the crop. I also took a moment for minor touch-ups, like a tiny bit of hair cleanup here and there, before finally exporting each finished thumbnail. Crucially, I named every single exported thumbnail file to perfectly match the corresponding video folder to maintain maximum organization. Now we arrive at the biggest and messiest gap in most creators' workflows. You have the long video done, you have the thumbnails, but you still need to clip, schedule, and track everything. That's the exact point where Vizard slots into my system and why I'm genuinely excited to talk about it without sounding like some cheesy commercial read. Vizard isn't just another automated editor that spits out completely random, unusable cuts. It intelligently finds the true high-impact, high-value moments within your long-form video. Once I finish my edit in Resolve, I simply upload the final long video to Vizard, and it instantly analyzes the footage to generate multiple ready-to-post clip options for every platform. This means I never have to manually scrub, cut, reformat captions, or redesign aspect ratios for every single social channel individually anymore. Honestly, moving this repetitive clipping and formatting work over to the AI saves me so many hours every single week that it feels almost criminal. When you compare Vizard's AI-driven clip generation to the manual work in Premiere or DaVinci, the speed difference is staggering and immediately noticeable. Furthermore, compared to other automated tools that often just cut based on silence or arbitrary timestamps, Vizard focuses on clips that actually have genuine share potential. It's not claiming perfection, but its ability to select content with built-in energy or a succinct idea is significantly better than the raw, context-less autocuts I've tested previously. Another feature I lean on heavily is Vizard's integrated auto-schedule function and the unified content calendar view. Instead of juggling separate Trello boards, messy Excel sheets, and random Google Calendar reminders, I set the posting frequency right there. I drop the generated clips into Vizard's calendar, assign the corresponding thumbnail, quickly tweak the captions, and then I just let the platform handle the actual scheduling for me. If you are a creator who demands steady content output, but absolutely hates repetitive, mind-numbing tasks, this frees you up to focus on the next big video. Contrast that with the traditional workflow. Exporting multiple formats, individually uploading to 3 different platform UIs, and manually setting the posting time, which quickly adds up to hours lost every week. While other scheduling tools exist, many of them lack native clip generation, forcing you to use a separate editor just to trim and reformat the short content. Vizard's real power is that it bundles the AI editing, the reformatting, and the final scheduling all into one cohesive location, which is the ultimate time saver. To be fair, I still rely on other specialized tools for specific tasks, like Canva for mockups and Snapseed for rapid mobile photo edits. But those excellent tools alone cannot close the entire content loop the way that a combined template, batch photos, and Vizard automation structure can. And unlike the temptation of Photoshop, which can easily pull you into hours of nitpicking polish mode, this strategy prioritizes sheer speed and consistent output. Here are a couple of shop-worn but essential tips directly from running this latest batch session for you to implement. First, always take way more photos than you think you could ever possibly need. Excess is better than scarcity in this department. Second, stick to your templates so that every single thumbnail in a series looks like it belongs together under the same umbrella. Third, make sure you shoot in good light and try consciously to project a lot of palpable energy, because excitement is contagious even in tiny squares. If you are the face of your brand, you absolutely must put yourself in the thumbnail because people instinctively connect with other human faces. Here is another small but mighty workflow hack. Keep a dedicated Final Assets folder that contains the long video, all the clips, the final thumbnail, and the copy for every platform. I upload that entire master folder to my Trello card and also link it in the Vizard calendar event so that everything is perfectly linked and searchable later. If you are worried about the cost implications, let's have a real conversation. Photoshop and premium scheduling suites often demand multiple subscriptions to cover all bases. Canva can handle your templates for free, but their native scheduling capabilities are often capped unless you step up to their paid tier. Vizard's primary value proposition is the sheer amount of time it saves you, and for any creator where time equals content volume, that investment pays for itself rapidly. The way I see it, you pay a small, smart price for an optimized workflow, or you spend that same time doing tedious, busy work that actively slows down your entire content pipeline. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, remember to have genuine fun with the process, because if you aren't enjoying it, your audience will definitely pick up on that lack of enthusiasm. I try to pour the exact same high-level energy into designing the thumbnail that I put into recording the final video itself. Think of the thumbnail as a direct promise to the viewer about the value they are about to receive, so don't look bored when making that promise. Use the goofy faces, the serious looks, and keep that one-sentence thumbnail text tight to tease the core value that the video will absolutely deliver on. So that is the complete connected loop. Plan your templates, batch the photoshoot, edit fast on your phone with Snapseed, finalize the design in Canva, upload to Vizard for AI clips, assign the assets in the calendar, and hit auto schedule. You have successfully transformed a huge multi-hour segment of manual repetitive work into a predictable automated system that serves you. I spent a single dedicated afternoon and walked away with 7 completely polished videos ready to go, plus 60 fresh photos, a full set of thumbnails, and a week's worth of shorts already scheduled. Now I want to hear from you. How are you currently handling thumbnail creation and content repurposing on your end? Are you still doing everything manually, or are you leveraging smart tools to speed up that crucial pre-upload phase? Please drop your best workflow advice or challenges down in the comments below for everyone to see and learn from. If this breakdown helped streamline even one small part of your content process, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want more of these time-saving workflow deep dives. Be sure to ring the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos in this series where I explore editing shortcuts and full batch workflows. Until the next time you see me, catch you all later and keep this crucial mantra in mind. Remember, great templates, taking lots of photos, and implementing a little bit of smart automation equals way less stress and significantly more content being published.